Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Three Dumb Dads.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Three Dumb Dads. It's time to have some fun. Once again, powered by Stints Built. Let's build custom PCs for all your budgets and needs. Seth, what happened right before we came on in kind of crazy Stints Built land? Because I feel like every time we do one of these episodes, there's going to be like another crazy announcement.
Yeah, so fresh, hot off the presses. Next big build for him. He's done the likes of many content creators. One of the most famous ones that he's done is Ben Simmons from the Philadelphia 76ers or whoever he's going to be playing for. The newest celebrity signing is Kyrie Irving from the Brooklyn Nets. Just submitted his build request, and Stents will be building for him. So pretty big shoes that he's filling over there, but expect nothing but the best from him. And it's crazy to see the amount of growth that he's had in just, such a short amount of time. So happy to know Stents.
Does he get anything? I mean, aside from obviously it being like his job, but how cool would it be if he doesn't have it? That like he's doing it for all these athletes. If he had like a jersey wall or something,
that would be sick.
Like of everybody that he did.
Well, so not this is going to completely derail the whole evening, but that's fine. So in talking to Jeff about it, one of the really cool things, like with Ben Simmons, like Ben was literally like just randomly FaceTiming him, saying hi, hey, what's going on? I'm getting ready for this game, just checking in. Like that's the kind of part that a lot of people forget is they're just regular people that want to hang out too. So Jeff is very hands-on. Jeff will go down there, white glove service, set everything up for them, make sure that they're well taken care of because he knows that's going to help his business and help him continue to grow. So it would not surprise me if down the line he starts putting together some kind of wall or something like that. But we have a packed episode tonight. Thanks to Jeff for powering the podcast again. Do we just want to get right into the first thing here on the podcast tonight, or do we want to kind of go through what all we're going to talk about? Because there's a lot to talk about tonight.
Feel free.
Yeah. So I'll just give a quick rundown. We're going to get into a man law conversation. If you want to add your man law, feel free to either do it in the comments or here in the chat if you're with us live. We're going to talk about what's happening, unfortunately, in 2 days to me. Eb, I'm not sure what day you're doing it, but we're going to do a little hot chip update. We're going to talk about the NFL Conference Championships. We're going to talk about the overtime rules, and then we're going to get into a game. Thanks to our friends at Lumberland that we pull a lot of their TikToks and get inspiration from their TikToks. We're going to do a famous alumni little game later, but let's get right into it. Yeah, get the chip down. I don't care. I'm ignoring it for now.
I'm going to send Abby's his. It's funny. I looked on Amazon multiple times and found it. Like there's a bunch of different sellers. I don't buy anything that's not Amazon Prime because shipping takes till next Thursday. And we were only able to get that one under Prime delivery. So what I'm going to do is the next time I see that it's back resupplied under Prime delivery, I'm going to order it and I'm just going to send it directly to Ebby's house so that he doesn't have to worry about it. We don't have to worry about it coming here and then going to him. It's all going to be taken care of. But this guy, wherever the fuck he is on the screen.
Straight above you.
He's above you.
I'm straight above you.
Saturday night at our house. I don't know, at like 6 o'clock, I think.
So somewhere between 6 and 6:30. Yeah, exactly. And I think, I don't want to promise it now, but we're going to try to figure out where to live stream it. I figured we might as well. I may try to have Seth just do it mobile here on Twitch. or we may just we may do like an Instagram or Facebook or something. But there will be plenty of video content. Plenty of, I'm sure, laughing in the background because I know my brother's coming. I think a couple other people are planning on being there.
So what I'm thinking, and I don't want to derail the conversation anymore.
Well,
but
that's all right. Let's do the hot chip update now, and we'll get into man laws.
Yeah,
we're gonna video this, right? So if we decide to live stream it or whatever, then somebody else can video yours. Abby, you're gonna have to video yours, and then my thought is, when we come back, whenever that is, if we're able to get it done within 2 weeks, our next episode, I'm gonna come up with a way to edit these videos together so that we're seeing you guys' reactions at the same time. And if there's a way for us to highlight the volume, if somebody screams at one point or somebody, starts crying at another point, we're able to bounce those things back and forth, but everybody will be able to enjoy it.
So let me just throw this out there, and I doubt it's going to work, but my wife wanted me to at least ask, Abby, just throw the family in the car and get out here Saturday.
Saturday?
Why not?
Gemma has dance.
So what? She can miss one.
I don't know. This is competition season. They're like locked in a contract.
We have plenty of space for sleeping. Let's go.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
Well, whatever we decide to do next year.
We definitely need to do it. All three of us together.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, even if we do it in the summer, we will do at some point one live podcast all together. I mean, we started this
3-hour episode.
Yeah, we can do it for however fucking long we want. But
campfire episode.
we started this shit in the middle of the pandemic. We're still pretty much acting like we're in the. I mean, we still are in the pandemic.
Well,
I think at some point we are going to have to get everybody in the same room and sit down and have some whiskey, beers, whatever it is that you guys want to drink. I'll stop rambling. We'll keep going.
Let's get into some of these man laws. So we've all seen these lists from time to time on different places. You kind of get the bro code, the man laws, the rules, just all of those things that go out there for guys. I have a list of, I believe it's 15 things. I'm going to drop off a couple of them just because some of them aren't necessarily any fun. I think they're kind of dumb, really. But number one is definitely number one. And I think this is one of those things that is just ingrained in us. Player one belongs to whoever owns the console. And we'll have to add in there, obviously with stints or PC. Player one is the person that owns it.
Yeah, I think that's a given.
I think that's fair.
Now,
I would say the only argument, which is not even an argument, I would say like when we were back in college, I mean, it really didn't matter. It was just like, let's pick up the controllers and play. But then again, games were a lot different back then.
Well, and here's kind of the thing. Does it even matter anymore? Because most people aren't playing all together, sitting around on a divided by 4 screen anymore. Is Gino? Does Gino have to follow that? Is he ever going to deal with player one and any of that? Everybody just plays together online.
So it's kind of weird. Like, not so much player one, but when we play FIFA, like the home team and the away team are like designated by colored circles. So like the home team is like your guy has like a blue circle around him, where the away team has a red circle around him. He always has to be blue. If he's red, it messes with his head. It's weird.
So what you do is force him to be the other color and beat him, because that's the only way you can
It doesn't
win.
matter anyways. He beats me anyways.
All right. Let's just move on to number 2. So this is a thing that I believe really matters in general, and I know all three of us function that way because we've functioned that way with me in this seat. Shotgun is a responsibility, not a privilege. If you are sitting up front, you're not a passenger, you are the co-pilot. You're also in charge of the music. You're in charge of making sure that the driver has plenty of snacks, and you're in charge of making sure we don't miss the goddamn turn.
So this has to just be guy stuff, right? So like
Well,
if
yeah.
we're riding in the car together, it's
Oh,
not
yeah,
like
my wife is immediately asleep if she's up front. But
Yeah, I was
when
gonna
you
say,
and I
'cause-
drive somewhere, like if the four of us are driving somewhere and we put them in the back, I'm up front, and we make sure we get where we're going.
that works.
And that was me and
Yeah.
Abby in college the entire time, West Virginia.
Yeah, because you figured the passenger back then was reading
Oh, you're a MapQuest.
MapQuest. Printed out directions.
I saw
page 2.
I saw a great TikTok about that today. It was people say today people are driving distracted, but in the 90s and they have like MapQuest directions in one hand, they're like book of CDs in the other, and they're trying to flip through it. They have one in their mouth. They're like elbowing the wheel.
So let's talk about this. So like think about and I remember this as a kid, so I'm sure you guys do as well. Like when we used to go on like a road trip or whatever, my dad had an atlas and would map out the route in his atlas of where he's gonna go, like the exits he needs to look for, and like the routes and all that shit. Could you imagine? Like, I'm sure just growing up and learning that like that's all you had, it'd be okay and easy to adapt to somewhat. But like, could you imagine kids or even drivers today, somebody that's 18 or 19 years old, having to read a fucking atlas?
Well, so it's funny you mentioned that. So Aaron and I have never watched The Amazing Race up until this season. And the only reason we started watching it is because of our, I guess, pandemic guilty pleasure, which is the Holderness family on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and all that. And Penn and his wife are on The Amazing Race. They were internet celebrities before, but really the pandemic really brought them out, and everybody knew who they were. Watching them get through so far England and Scotland with very little issue in terms of directions was kind of funny because I feel like you, me, like the three of us could probably navigate it, but the younger teams were really struggling because they couldn't figure out a map. They have no phone, they have no GPS. It's all on your own. It's asking people, or it's grabbing a map and figuring it out and knowing where to be. And the younger people were really struggling with that.
Well, hopefully the guy's not the one asking for directions, because you just don't ask for directions, you just figure it out.
No, I'll tell you right now, if you're in a race for $1 million and you're in Scotland for the first time ever, I'm asking somebody, do I go that way or that way?
Is that really all they get?
$1 million, yeah. Well, it's $1 million if you win the whole thing, but like each one, so like the first one that got to the end of like the England tour won I think they won like $5,000 each and a trip to Cape Cod for the weekend or for the week or something. Like they win like other stuff like along the way.
So like, I mean, like $1 million is cool, right? And it's cool to be on. Like that would be a cool show to be on, I think. You get to see all this different shit and whatnot, but $1 million isn't really that much money anymore.
No, it's not.
Like, it's really not.
No, it's not.
And
But
that amount hasn't really changed. I mean, people were winning $1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in the 90s.
true.
Yeah.
It's because
Like-
it sounds like a lot of money.
I mean, yeah, it is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. You invest it, you could probably be set for the rest of your life. But like, I just don't like some of this stuff. Like some of these game shows, like, could you imagine doing Fear Factor and they're like, oh, you win $25,000?
Like, no, I'm
Fuck
out.
you.
No way.
Fuck you. Like, oh, just lay in this box with a bunch of spiders. No, I'm good.
I'm out.
Mm-mm.
Like, I think this goes back to like our conversation of like how much money, would it take for you to do something like this? Like, dude, there'd have to be some substantial money. Like, I see this TikTok all the time. Like, this woman's like, honey, would you punch me in the face for $1 billion? Like $1 billion? Yo, I would fucking roundhouse kick you for $1 billion. Like, no joke. $1 billion? I'm not going to kill you.
Well, I'll tell you right now,
Is a lot.
I'd punch either one of you for $1 million. Hell, I'd probably punch either one of you for $500,000.
Yeah, I would expect you to.
And I'd split it with you.
See, and that brings us to man laws. It's different.
That's true.
Like when you're with your boys,
Well,
because
shit, I'd punch you for $100.
yeah. And then I'd say, like, let's go to the bar
Right.
on me.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're hitting me, I'll gladly take the shot if you're going to win like a bunch of money, but you better take care of me afterwards.
And that's just the thing.
Well, which that goes to the next thing here. When offered a beer, accept it even if it's not your brand. Your favorite brand of beer is free. Your second is cold. To a point.
I agree. Because
yeah, I mean,
you take it.
You
You figure out how to nurse it if it's absolutely. If you're giving to me an American Light right now, I'm probably going to struggle to drink it. In college, it was fine.
That's the thing. Like, if I came out there, I know you guys aren't going to have like icy lights.
No,
because you can't get them.
We have real beer.
Well, let's pretend that you can. And chances are you're going to have. I feel like there'd be like a lot of IPAs.
I don't remember what's in my fridge right now. I know I have some of the Yingling chocolate porter. The Yingling Hershey's
that would be good. But I mean, like, if I go to a place, say like, let's just say like one of your guys' house for like a cookout or something, you have like a cooler of beer and it's like blueberry hop schnitzel stout. Yeah, I'll drink it. I might not enjoy it, but I'm not gonna like be like, no.
Exactly. Your favorite brand is free. Your second favorite's cold. I mean, that's literally all that matters. And
but what if you can't drink beer?
Well, you have the exception there because you can pull the gallbladder card.
Yeah. I shouldn't say I can't. So
what do we figure out you can drink?
I think I told you I had a Stella Artois. I don't know, right after Christmas. Drank it. Didn't feel anything. Like, didn't feel sick. Didn't feel nauseous. Didn't feel anything. I haven't drank any since. I haven't drank a beer since then. However, if I was going to try one, that's probably the one that I would go back to. Tasted really good. Honestly, it was the first time I've had a beer in a long time that I was like, God damn, I really miss like just the taste of beer. And I know a lot of people don't understand that, but
beer's good.
You know, I'm not big on like the IPAs and the just the weird shit.
It has to be be the right IPA. Like when you and I go to Tattered Flag, a lot of times I'll try like kind of whatever their seasonal thing is.
Yeah.
Within reason. But a lot of times, like with an IPA, it's got to be like the right IPA and with food. Like I can't, like I'm not just gonna sit out and like sit around the table at a backyard barbecue and hang out and drink an IPA. Like they're not that good to me.
But
so
I'm glad you think that way.
The next man law: don't throw a friend under the bus to impress someone ever.
No, you shouldn't do that at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, how good of friends are you?
And who are you trying to impress?
Well, yeah. So let's roll back. Let's just say back to when Ebby and I were in college.
Jesus.
Now you and I probably not going to throw each other under the bus, but some of the people that would randomly hang out and party with us at 10:35, I'm rolling on them all day.
Oh yeah.
Like
those aren't your friends though.
Yeah, that wasn't in our
acquaintances. Yeah. Like I'm talking about like if just some random like I don't know. What if your friend, not my friend, but your friend is with us, right? And I'm talking like years and years ago, not married time now.
Yeah.
But like, I don't fucking know that guy. I'm throwing him under the bus. I don't give a shit. If it's going to be funny, if something's going to make somebody laugh, I'm going to do it.
Well, and in the end, that was all for one common goal. Everybody understood that.
But it's also I think you have to look at it as a way of like, I don't want to say initiating somebody into like your friend circle and stuff, but like in order to hang out with us, you got to have some type of sense of humor because I'm gonna fucking make fun of you. And go ahead, Abby.
It's no, I mean, I don't want to. It's so
spit it out.
Depending on what is happening. If we go back, like you said, years ago, and a situation arose where it was like, dude, I need you to take one for the team, in a sense of like,
girls,
something's about to happen,
I know where this is going?
And I might blame you. Sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, but that's not that's kind of, you're not throwing them under the bus. I mean, you're throwing them under the bus, but they know they're expecting it.
Which I think might bring to like another man law. Like
I'm going exactly where you're going.
Yeah, like give your boy a heads up.
Yeah.
100%. You give me a heads up and you want to do it, throw me under the bus. I don't give a shit. Say whatever the fuck you want about me. I don't care.
Just don't blindside me. Let you know.
I got thick skin. No, you can blindside me. I don't give a fuck. But there's got to be certain types of people though, because somebody will be like, "Oh, he hurt my feelings," especially nowadays.
Oh,
got to be careful with that shit.
Well, true. So this next one on the list, I thought was just common knowledge, but apparently it wasn't. By someone who may or may not be listening in the future. My brother. If a friend with a truck assists you with moving, or just moving in general, you shall reciprocate with a full tank of gas. Beer and pizza are also appreciated.
Beer and pizza are expected.
I mean, to me, if you're helping somebody move, beer, pizza, food, you're not paying for anything that day if you're helping me move. And if it takes a week, then you're pretty much not, I'm just feeding you like my child.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, Abby,
to me, that's just...
Don't move.
Don't move. We're not coming.
No, I will. I mean, you get one time, right? Now that I'm older, you get one shot.
You get one day.
My dad's an exemption for this because, they moved out of state. So,
well, yeah.
And I'm obligated. He's my dad, so I'm going to help him. I don't mind that. But y'all get one fucking shot.
Shout out to him.
Like, Matt already had his move. So
I way overused that one.
He's out. So Abby, you got to move. If you decide that you're going to move, I will help. But it's one time.
Pizza and beer is definitely a given.
Yeah.
And I also think if you have a truck, you're fucked.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Don't get a truck.
Yep. If you know someone who has a truck, it might be your first call.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're always your first call.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I like. That's kind of why I like my job, because I get the demo from work. So like Saturday, I know I'm going to IKEA on Sunday. I'm grabbing a Yukon XL, so I have plenty of storage space. I need it for Sunday, but I'm going to go right back to the little the Jeep that I'm driving now because I don't want extra space. But if I need to move something next weekend, I'll grab a pickup truck and then I'll put it back there on Monday.
Yeah,
use it when I need it.
You probably shouldn't have announced that because now everybody knows that you can get any vehicle that you need.
But I can't always get them. They're not always available. That's the problem.
Oh, I'd be like, well, hey, Matt, let me know when you're getting that truck. And
sorry, bro, we don't have any.
That's why I always tell people, like, I just never understood, like, the whole having a truck thing, right? Like, you work on a farm, you work in construction, you're hauling shit all the time. Like, I get it. But just like you're run-of-the-mill everyday person to have a truck, like, you're just putting yourself at a disadvantage.
Yep.
And in a bad position.
All right. So next one here, it's one of the only ones that I'm going to leave in about dying. But if your bro dies, delete his internet history.
I mean,
at this point, I don't know that it's necessarily relevant. I mean, I think they kind of expanded off of the old, make sure your boy knows where your stash of dirty magazines are and get rid of them. But
I mean, in this day and age, like, I don't know.
I mean,
Delete your browser history. Like, how would you even listen, Matt? If you die tomorrow, and I'm not saying you're gonna die, so please don't die tomorrow because I had nothing to do with it. But like, how the fuck am I gonna delete your browser history?
you're not.
Like on what? Like on your phone?
Well, I was gonna say, at this point, isn't everything kind of tied together?
I'm gonna literally have to find you dead so that I can use Face ID to open your phone and then go in and delete it.
But you gotta put sunglasses on me first because it would want to see my eyes.
Well, just fucking hold your eyes open.
was this really
I just
true?
tape them
Like,
open.
What?
Scotch tape.
is that always like a real thing? Like
What?
people said, like in college, like if your roommate dies, you automatically get A's.
No, Dead Man on Campus is not a legit thing.
I never had a roommate die, so I wouldn't. I mean,
I mean,
I never got A's.
I mean,
Based on it,
Hey.
there was a movie based on it. Listen, Dead Man on Campus was one of the movies that my dad and I watched religiously when I was growing up. Like it was such a good movie. And I just like, if that was real, I mean, think about.
well, I mean, Ebby, you guys almost found out when I almost died. So
When did you almost die?
when my body temperature dropped to 92 and I passed out in April in the rain coming down down the hill from Theta Xi back down to Longenecker. It was before you were there, but you would have known.
That's why I don't.
Well, then he wouldn't have known.
Well, I was
He
still
wouldn't have
friends.
gotten straight A's.
Well, he wouldn't have, but it would have been recent on campus, and everybody would have known.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, Sprito literally walked into Brownsville Hospital and goes, "I could smell you the second the doors opened." Just smelled like beer.
Why college is overrated. Just trying to kill yourself.
I think my blood. What the heck was my blood alcohol? 0.37. It was like it was just stupid high. They basically said the only reason I lived was because my blood alcohol was so high that it thinned out my blood. Anyway,
I'm surprised I got that right. I went to Brownsville Hospital when I went to Cal for soccer camp in high school, and I fractured my wrist. And when I went to Brownsville Hospital, they looked at the X-ray and said nothing was wrong with it. When I came home, it still hurt like hell. Went to a real hospital, and they said no, it's fractured.
well, in any event, be polite around your buddy's lady friend, but when he asks you what you think, lay the truth on him like a 10-ton slab.
Depends on how she is. If she's a bitch, I'm not going to be nice to her.
I think the first time, maybe the first two times I meet them, because I'll give them a chance. Maybe they were in a bad mood.
Nope. Not if they're well. So it depends. If they're acting like that towards like everybody in general, you can just tell they're in a bad mood. Then maybe. But like, if they're being a dick to you, fuck that. Why would you want to watch your friend go through that?
Well, that's why you tell them when you're alone.
She's miserable.
What if you haven't seen your friend in a long time and he like shows up and he's like, I'm engaged or I'm married?
Too late.
Good luck.
then
like,
obviously you're not close enough in location for her bitchiness to matter.
Yeah, for it to affect you.
So, unless it is super busy, there must always be a 1 urinal buffer between men in a restroom.
Oh, 100%.
So funny
one.
So funny story. I actually thought of this one towards the end of last year. We went down to Nationals Park for this Christmas light thing. And I walk into the bathroom and it's one of the weirdest things ever because there's a bunch of weird angles inside. And your thought, or at least my thought, is you walk in and you walk as far away from the door as possible. You're the first one in. You get as far away from the door to the back urinal. Well, I went around 3 corners and kept finding further and further away. So eventually I just gave up. But how far do you go in that situation? Do you just go to the end of the first corner?
I think if you're the first one in there, it doesn't matter. You get to pick.
definitely got to try to find that buffer. There have been times where I've walked into a bathroom and there wasn't a buffer. And it's just like, you're like, oh, I'm going to be that guy. Then it also sucks at Heinz Field because there's just troughs.
Well, yeah. Takes you back to like the high school days.
Like, really, there is no buffer.
No.
Everybody might as well just piss on the floor.
Well, it's like what it was growing up, like high school and shit. Like we had one of those. And I mean, no, just here it is.
All right. So the next one here is kind of an interesting point because through some international learning, it depends on where you are in the world for this to matter. But obviously here in the United States, this will work the way it's written. If you shake with a limp hand, you're acknowledging non-verbally to me that I'm in charge, even if we just met. Firm handshake is expected in the U.S. There's other cultures that respect a more delicate handshake, but yeah, if you dead fish
Just thinking a little too far into this.
No,
it feels weird. I always go in for a firm handshake, and if the person on the other end, if the person on the other end is just like, like that just feels weird. It's like,
you can usually tell those people before you even shake their hand.
True.
Oh, 100%.
That's called profiling.
Happens every day, brother. I didn't mean it like that. Don't.
So let's just move on to the next one.
Here we go again.
This is going to take it to a bad place anyway. So
I'm not saying anything.
I'm waiting for chat to get involved in this one. If you and a buddy are having a threesome with a girl, you can't look each other in the eyes. But if you happen to accidentally look each other in the eyes, you have to high five.
I thought the rule was don't look down.
Where do you look? Okay, so hold on. So, I mean, yes, obviously don't look down. But I don't want to. I'm not going to stare you in the eyes. That would be weird.
Well, that's different. If you just like happen to look up and your buddy looks up at the same time and you catch each other in the eye.
Good job.
Here's what I'm going to say.
I can't wait for this.
If you and a buddy find a girl that's willing to go to bed with both of you at the same time, leave her the fuck alone. Like, seriously. You don't want to touch her with a 10-foot fucking pole. So you don't have to worry about looking at each other. You can look at each other from the living room while you're watching TV, and she's out doing that with somebody else. The only time a man should be worried about having a threesome is if there's two women involved.
Agreed.
Done. Right there.
You can call that sexist. I don't give a shit. It's coming from me.
And here. So as we're talking about no two men should share a woman, no two men should share an umbrella under no circumstances. That's the word I can't say. May two men share an umbrella is another one of the man laws on here.
Yeah, I mean,
I think there's one exception to that.
Do you need an umbrella?
No. There's only one exception that I can come up with to that, and that's if you're stuck on the golf course and you're both huddling under a big ass golf umbrella.
I got another one for you.
Get in the cart.
Well, what if you're walking?
He said.
What if you're walking?
That's dumb.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't.
Are we on a PGA Tour?
We're playing at Beaver Bend.
What if you're at a funeral?
Ooh.
Is it acceptable there?
I think anything at a funeral is acceptable. Well, I mean, a lot of those things go out the window because you're there for one reason and one reason alone.
Celebrate life.
Exactly. This one I think we'll all agree on. All groceries go from the vehicle to the house in one trip. It does not matter how many bags are there.
Yes.
Definitely give it a shot. That's for
Unless
sure.
you go to Costco.
I say the only I would say there's two exceptions to that one. Costco, because nothing's in a bag, and if you happen to also get like 12 packs of soda or something like bulk item size, all the bags go at once. Then you go back and get the other stuff, like the case of water or whatever.
Definitely, you have to give it a shot.
No, there's no giving it a shot. You take all the damn bags in, you.
Strong words. Strong words.
All right. And the final one. There are specific rules to the head nod. When greeting another male when walking down the street, if you don't know them, you nod up. If you know them, you nod up. If you don't know them, you nod down. Sorry, I read it backwards as I was trying to do it at the same time. If I know
People
you...
still do the nod up? Do people still do, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, all the time. What's up? If I know you, it's up.
I probably haven't seen that in years.
I think Abby and I don't get out enough.
That might be
I
true.
always do the head down.
Yeah.
And that very well may be true, because you figure I walk around the dealership all day, so like I run into a lot of people I do know and a lot of people I don't know. So I mean, it seems there very much even if you're not talking, it's just a what's up, head nod up for like when I'm walking around and I see like one of the techs from the back that are the mechanics. If I'm new customer, hey, what's up? Kind of bow down.
Here's the ultimate question.
Okay.
Because it's kind of coming from chat, and it's going to tie into two. If we go into the bathroom and there is no buffer, do you give the head nod up or down before going into the stall?
Wait.
Need a head nod.
Hold
down.
on. Repeat the question?
Okay, so this is like a two-parter, because in chat the question is, Mace, do you go into the stall if there is no buffer? What if you go into the bathroom and you know the person? Do you head nod them in the bathroom? What if you don't know the person? Do you head nod them down?
Well, no, you never look down in the bathroom.
I think it's very uncomfortable to talk in the bathroom as it is.
You don't. The only conversation that happens in the bathroom is the conversation that started outside, because you happen to both be walking there at the same time, i.e., halftime.
You don't continue it inside?
No. That's what I'm saying. You can continue it inside because it started outside. You don't start a new conversation. Like if I'm standing at the stall and you happen to walk in, we don't start talking there.
You don't say what's up?
No.
Why?
That's my time.
Standing at the pisser?
Yes. I'm in a zone. I'm admiring the grout work on the wall, like I'm going to become a master grouter. And no, when I walk away, when I'm going to go wash my hands, sure, then you can talk to me. If we did not start talking outside of the bathroom, no, don't talk to me already inside.
How's it hanging?
I'm out there.
How's it hanging?
I can't wait till I come out there. I'm going to follow you into a bathroom and just talk.
Follow him into our bathroom.
Whose bathroom are you following me into?
The restroom.
We're going to go to like Hershey Park, and I'm going to follow you into every bathroom you go into.
Well, that's fine.
And just stand behind him and talk.
But if we're talking if you and I are walking into the bathroom at the same time, a conversation is already there. It's like you let me go in first, think I'm by myself, and then just randomly show up. Oh, shit.
All right, what's next?
So tonight's episode brought to you also by 446 Distillery, a small family-owned distillery nestled in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, specializing in craft spirits, has what you need from gins, rums, and in the works, their whiskey and bourbon. Having a fancy party, a get-together with friends, or maybe they're just your type of drinks. Check out 446 Distillery, for the number 4, written out for, and then the number 6, Distillery. For a complete list of their spirits, 446 offers online ordering for your convenience. Check them out at 446distillery.com or on Facebook and Instagram. You'll see them right up here on the screen. Nice little place they got going there.
I'm going to have to check those out because I'm going to have to get some whiskey and bourbon shipped.
Do I have some of their stuff? 446. I was also a member of the Fantasy League. It was the other Sunday. That was the Distillery. I have Clementine Gin.
The Clementine Gin right here. Zest from Clementine fruit.
And then there was another one I have. Go up. On. Up.
That's the top.
Down.
Tea infused gin. Or do you have a rum? They have white spiced and barrel aged spice. That barrel aged spice looks good.
It's the tea infused gin, and I mixed that with a lemonade for like a crazy Arnold Palmer.
Those look really good, and I mean, obviously, really good price right there. I mean, $36 for that nice little bottle right there. Looks fantastic. So again, check out 446 Distillery.
All right, guys. So I want to bring up something.
Uh-oh.
Are we talking about? We're not talking. We already talked about the chip. We know what's happening with that.
Yeah.
Saturday's the day.
Saturday's the day I die to that thing right there.
So this past weekend, we were all treated to one hell of a football weekend.
That was probably the best series of games, like one weekend series of games ever. I don't think.
I mean, you could take away the Bengals game. You could take away the Buccaneers game. You could take away, what was the other game? The 49ers game. You could take all those away. And the Saints. The Bills and the Chiefs game was unbelievable. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. There was so much scoring in the last minute of that game. I mean, listen, both of those teams' defenses shit the bed, plain and simple. But the offenses were incredible. And so that kind of brings me to my question. Number one, I don't even know if it's a question, because I think everybody's pretty much unanimously agreeing to this. And if you're not, then I'd love to hear your opinion. Does the NFL need to change their overtime rules?
100% yes. No question.
What would your... So I've heard different theories on this. So I think that I think college football has a good system to an extent. The college football kind of feels like a shootout in hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's the kind of feel. That's the kind of feel that it has to me. Honestly, I think the way that I would like to see it is for them to throw either a 10 or a 15-minute a quarter up there, and whoever's winning at the end of that wins. And if it's still tied, we go to the next one. And if you score a touchdown, you have to go for 2 points. That would be my suggestion.
I like that little. So my thought from the very beginning, the overtime rules, while they changed in, I believe, 2010 and then again in 2012 for everything, not just playoffs, were built around a game where scoring was scarce. So it was built around scoring that was much more similar to soccer and hockey. You know, it wasn't uncommon to have a 7-6 game or a 10-7 game back in the day. Scoring is no longer scarce in the NFL, and therefore, just like Seth said, I think it needs to be a 10-minute overtime period, 2 timeouts, so that you're not able to necessarily stop them just by using timeouts and getting the ball back. Like you're both going to get a shot, because very rarely are you going to have a 10-minute scoring drive. The other team should still get the ball no matter what. You could potentially still only have one team with it. But I do like the idea of adding in a additional wrinkle with it having to be a 2-point conversion. I think that makes it really interesting. But I think, like you said, it's a 10-minute overtime period. It's a timed sport. You play till the end, same as the NBA. And if it's tied, then it continues to go. With one caveat. In the regular season, it goes to the college shootout. Only in the playoffs do you go the full 10 minutes. Because I know the NFLPA is going to have some issues with it, with the increased amount of time to play. So if you do it this way, it's kind of a best of both worlds. It's kind of similar to hockey where you play the 3-on-3 and then go to a shootout. But in the playoffs, you play until sudden death, but you play until a goal is scored. Doesn't matter if it takes 5 periods.
Yeah. I mean, Abby, what are your thoughts?
I've always liked the college football style. I think it's fair in a sense of each team gets a shot. So, I mean, you score on your first possession. And if you score a field goal, the next team, the other team gets a shot. It's either score a touchdown to win it or kick a field goal to keep it going. Yeah. I know in college, I think it was after the second overtime, extra points are gone. It's always
you have to go for 2. Yep.
So,
and then at a certain point,
so
when you get to like the 6th overtime or the 5th overtime or something like that.
It's the 3rd round.
You just go for 2.
The first touchdown, you can kick an extra point. The second touchdown, you must go for 2. After that second touchdown and going for 2, it is nothing but 2-point conversions to end the game. They changed it, I believe, this year because they didn't want to have the 79 to 78 games where they kept scoring touchdowns.
Well, Penn State had that this year when they played Illinois. They went to like 7 or 8 overtimes that they were literally, it was just 2-point after 2-point conversion. Failed. It was pathetic. Not to say that there's something wrong with the system, but I mean, if you can't gain 2 yards,
I think in a sport where one possession can really dictate, well, whoever has possession of the ball can dictate the outcome. Not like hockey or basketball where the puck is continuously changing hands within overtime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's basically if you win the toss, before they change the overtime.
Listen, the way that the
toss, you won the game.
The way that the Chiefs and the Bills were playing at the end of that game in the 4th quarter, whoever got the ball to start the overtime was going to win.
Well, yeah, 100%.
As soon as the Chiefs won the coin toss, I said the game was over. Chiefs were going to win because there was no way in hell Mahomes was going without scoring a touchdown. Well, it just wasn't going to happen.
It's really interesting when you look at the stats since I believe it's 2010 and 2012. The regular season, it's much more even. It's about 52.3, 52.4% of the games in overtime did the winner of the coin toss win the game. In the playoffs, it's almost 91%. It's 10 out of 11 times.
Yep, 10-1.
To me, that's why I'm okay with doing like the college thing for the regular season, because you don't want to have them play a ton more minutes. But for the playoffs, when you have 2 teams with everything on the line, you can't not give a team even a chance to win the game because of a coin toss.
Well, I will say this: after watching that game, I was agreeing with so many things that I saw on Twitter that it should have been a best of 7 series between those 2 teams for the Super Bowl.
God.
Because that game on Sunday was one of the most fun games to watch that I've ever watched in football.
It's nuts.
Like, it was just incredible. And it has nothing necessarily to do with the fact that their defenses were terrible at the end, but just the fact that, you know, Josh Allen was playing lights out. Patrick Mahomes was playing lights out. It was just really fun to watch those guys play. And just the back and forth. I mean, the amount of points that were scored in the last minute. Did y'all see that they did a thing Patrick Mahomes got his team into field goal position to tie the game at the end of regulation in more time than Dak Prescott took to run that ball on the fourth down at the end of their game.
Yep. He had 13 seconds. Dak Prescott took 14.
It's just wild.
Yeah. So here's a question. What happens in the Super Bowl? Obviously, we've seen a Super Bowl go to overtime. What
it's the same.
What if a Super Bowl? What if nobody scores in that overtime?
Then it goes to the next one.
Is that what the rule is?
They go on to another.
I would think in the playoffs they have to go to another.
They go to another overtime.
Well, actually, is overtime
or the playoffs in general?
Playoffs?
Yeah. What is the rule?
Did they time the period?
Yeah, it was 10 minutes.
Okay, I couldn't remember if they actually timed the period or not because there's not really a point for the time.
It shouldn't be timed. They have a play clock, but don't have an actual game.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Because these games have to have a winner.
Yeah. You can't.
I don't know. I just think that
it's interesting.
I just think that something needs to change. So I think we all kind of agree on that. So where is everybody leaning? So this weekend we got the Bengals playing the Chiefs in Kansas City. That's the 3:00 game or 3:30 game. And then we have the 49ers playing the Rams in Los Angeles at 6:30, I think. Both games are on Sunday. What are your predictions? Let me hear.
I keep going back and forth on that AFC game because as much as I think I want to pick Cincy by like 3, like by like a game-winning field goal, but in KC with Andy Reid, it's between Andy Reid, Mahomes, and Kelsey, and just kind of seeing what Kelsey and Mahomes like. Hey, I'm not going to run the route that I want that they want me to run. I'm going to run to the open spot. Do it. We're playing backyard football. Their connection is just there. I find it really hard for them to lose, but I'm still going to call Cincy by 3.
I would love to see Cincy pull it off. Because, I mean, Joe Burrow is the only man left who can prevent Brittany Mahomes and Jackson Mahomes from being on social media.
Right. Well, they can still be on social media.
I would also love to see Cincy do it because I wouldn't hate it if the Bengals won.
No, I think it would be a giant, hilarious fuck you to Cleveland.
It really would.
Like, haha, we got a Super Bowl before you. No, I
could do it. Yeah, but I mean, like, and for sure.
I think the only thing that helps is Burrow just literally doesn't care that it's Andy Reid and KC and Mahomes. Yep. Like that part literally doesn't matter to him.
Well, and I don't know if you all saw this, but apparently you guys know at those at the stadiums and stuff, they have like the loud meters, like where it tells you like how many decibels it is, but it's all bullshit, right? Yeah. It's all just based on, you know, it's a computer program. It's a computer algorithm. Yeah. They were saying that Arrowhead Stadium got to 142 decibels. It was apparently the loudest stadium ever, which I call bullshit on because number one, well, okay, fine, Seattle. What about college football? Michigan, 108,000 people there.
Oh, yeah. I think they were. I mean, I would think they're talking NFL.
But even still, they said Joe Burrow. Somebody had asked them the question, I guess. I don't know if it was last week or if it was earlier in the season, about, are you worried about playing Arrowhead? Maybe it was this week. Are you worried about playing at Arrowhead? And he was like, why would I be worried about playing there? And somebody said about, you know, the noise and all of that stuff. He's like, I played in the SEC where there's like 100,000 people at the games regularly. Like, I'm not worried about it. And I just feel like, I don't know, like people don't get me wrong. I think home field advantage is a real thing. I think that it really does benefit teams. until you play somebody that doesn't give a fuck. If you're playing somebody that does not care, that the noise does not bother them, and especially when it's a quarterback, that they don't get flustered, if he can keep his offensive line under control, that crowd noise is not going to have anything to do with it. If they go up 1 or 2 scores, crowd noise isn't a problem at all, because everybody in the stands is going to be pissing and moaning that they're losing. So, I don't know. I really like Joe Burrow. I think he is the real deal when it comes to being like somebody that could emulate what Tom Brady did for the past 20 plus years. He seems to be kind of that guy that's most resembling of him. He's cool as shit, man. He doesn't give a shit about anybody or anything. He just wants to play football and have fun.
Yep.
Jamar Chase is dynamic, and if he has a good game, which the way the Chiefs defense looked at the end of that game, he should have one hell of a game. I would not write them off. I really do think that Cincy has a good chance, and they sure should have a really good chance, because their kicker is incredible. I don't know if y'all saw this. Did you see what he said, or what Burrow said
about the kicker?
The kicker
when he
about
warmed up
said
or something?
as he was passing him while he was running onto the field to go kick the 52-yard field goal. He said, "Well, I guess we're going to the AFC Championship."
Like the attitude that team has is just like,
It's great.
Anybody,
they're cocky, like they're super confident and they're cocky, but they're not like in the other team's face annoyingly cocky, giving them, billboard material or anything like that.
they're just confident.
They're just,
And the fucking kid went out there and drilled the 52-yarder. He would have been good from 63. I like that. Just having that. I don't know, I hate the word swagger, but that's really what they have. They have that. We're here. We know what we can do. We can beat anybody, and we're gonna go out and give it hell and do everything we can to win. So I'm rooting for Cincy. I hope they beat. Like Abby said, I don't want to see Patrick Mahomes' wife and brother anymore. I'm so fucking sick of seeing them. All right, so NFC, not who we expected. At least not who I expected. 49ers beat Green Bay, and Los Angeles beat the Bucks. Although the Bucks made it interesting there for a while, I thought we were going to have another Super Bowl comeback.
it didn't matter how far he got down. You always know Brady has a chance.
He's never out of a game.
No,
I mean, anybody who ever says, "Oh, this game's over," you're an idiot, because he is never out of a game, and he proved that once again. Took a last-minute kick to beat them. So I gotta say, Kyle Shanahan's he loves to run the ball. He's very basic. They're a big running team. Jimmy Garoppolo's not flashy. He was once in the shadow of Tom Brady, and I think that, not to say that he's not a good quarterback, but he is definitely not Matt Stafford. I think Los Angeles has way too many weapons. I think their defensive front is, Aaron Donald, Pittsburgh native, like that dude is, aside from TJ Watt, he's probably he's got to be the second best defensive player in the league.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And they have Von Miller now that they got from the Broncos.
That D-line.
I think the Rams are just too stacked. And let's throw in the Triple Crown winner, if you want to call it Triple Crown winner, in Cooper Kupp. That dude just always finds the football. I don't know why the hell people aren't double covering him, but I guess it's because you got OBJ on the team as well.
And now OBJ is doing more. Like he as soon as you start to try to lean towards Kupp and cover him more, OBJ beats you for 30 yards, 40 yards.
Yep.
That team is set up that as long as their defense doesn't allow the run to be established, if that's the only way that San Francisco wins, is if they can establish a long drives and keep the score down by keeping LA off the field. That's the only way they win. To me, this one is almost, and it's almost insane to say it in a championship game. I'm going to say Rams by 12.
I mean, that's doable. Not to mention, it is tough to beat a team 3 times in a season.
Yep.
Now you're doing it for the NFC Championship in their stadium, which has hosted a wild card,
Divisional.
NFC Championship, and
potentially the Super Bowl.
And we'll host the Super Bowl.
We'll host the Super Bowl. So you taking the Rams?
I would love to see Stafford get one.
I agree 100%.
I think he's been on such bad Lions teams.
He deserves it.
How crazy is that he was the quarterback, but both receiving like records being broke. Well, not both, but Calvin Johnson has the most receiving yards ever in a season. He was the quarterback. Cooper Kupp was like 20 off of that record.
Yep.
He was the quarterback.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He deserves it. He's a hell of a guy. He put in all that time in Detroit, and you kind of feel bad for the guy, but I shouldn't say we feel bad for the guy. Fucking dude's making millions and millions of dollars to play football. But you know how difficult it had to be to sit there in Detroit year after year, and play for that lousy franchise. But I hope he wins. I hope that Von Miller has another chance to win another Super Bowl. I don't know. I'm taking the Rams. I'm agreeing with you guys, Matt. I think as long as Stafford doesn't turn the ball over more than twice, I think the Rams win. If he throws more than 2 interceptions, the 49ers will beat them.
Oh, agreed.
That's always been his shortcoming is turning the ball over too much, and we saw that towards the end of the season. So as long as he can limit those turnovers and he can play like he did last week, it's not even going to be a contest, I don't think. So
I think we agree on Rams.
I think everybody agrees. Yeah, Rams Bengals. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that matchup.
That'd be a great Super Bowl.
Yeah. Second year in a row having
the host team in the city
at the Super Bowl, and it never happened before. And one other thing, well, for anybody out there still listening, anybody that didn't know, this past weekend, Tom Brady was older than all of the remaining coaches in the NFC except for his own.
Yeah.
The quarterback was older than the head coach of all of the remaining NFC teams.
Sean McVay is my age.
Yeah. Yep. It's wild.
That's crazy.
So
that's crazy.
All right, game time.
Let's go.
All right.
What you got for us?
We're taking a page out of Lumberland's book, like we said. A lot of their stuff has been like, should we say an inspiration? Is that the right word?
Yeah.
They
inspire our conversations.
Yeah, it's given us ideas to have some fun. So shout out to Lumberland for all the fun content that they're putting out and the games that they have in their warehouse. So today we are going to play the Three Dumb Dads famous alumni game.
Okay.
So
how does it work?
I'm going to give you three alum. Try to guess the school. We'll do just like the rules that Lumberland does. Try to wait for the last guy.
Okay.
And then got
Is
some
it like just first one to say it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have some honorable mentions of the alum of those schools, which kind of some of them just made me think like, really? I mean, half the people, even though they went to the school anyways. So how I picked these schools, I shit you not. I literally just went to ESPN, went to men's college basketball standings, closed my eyes, scrolled up and down, and just stopped. And wherever the cursor was, that's what school I got.
All right. So the first clue is they all have a men's NCAA basketball team. Got it.
That doesn't help me at all.
Doesn't at all. There's like, 373?
Yeah, there's like so many. So, question.
Chat, you guys can play too.
Are the alumni all sports figures?
No.
Okay, so we could be talking about actors or politicians or anything like that.
Oh. I tried to set it up in a way of it's like hardest to easiest.
Okay. I'm with you.
All right, so here we go. For school. Kate Spade.
You said Kate
Paul.
Spade?
That's Kate Spade.
Okay.
Designer lady.
Mhm.
Paul Rudd. And Joel Embiid.
Villanova?
We're off to a great start.
Was that wrong?
Villanova is wrong. Honorable mentions. Rob Riggle. Aqib Talib.
Central
Bob-
Michigan.
Bob Dole. And Don Johnson.
Can you imagine like them all at a college party together?
Talib. Not Central Michigan.
No, not Central Michigan. Does chat have any guesses?
I
No.
say,
No
yeah,
guesses in
chat. Guess as soon as you know. Help us out so that we don't sound
Aqib
totally
Talib.
stupid.
I got to start watching the introductions.
Yeah, I got to start paying more
Again.
attention. Can you
All
give
right,
us like is it SEC or
this is Big 12, known for their basketball program.
Cincinnati?
Hence Joel Embiid.
Not Cincinnati.
Their mascot's a bird.
Cincinnati's not in the Big
Kansas.
12.
Kansas. There we go.
I win.
Which I did not know. Rob
didn't even
Riggle
know
went
that-
to Kansas.
You didn't win. You guessed Cincinnati. They're not even in the Big 12.
All right, here we go.
Whatever. I got the answer.
Suge Knight. Yes, the Suge Knight. Guy Fieri. And Randall Cunningham.
UCLA.
Oh.
UNLV.
Yes. Honorable mentions. Kenny Mayne. Gina Carano. Larry Johnson and Jimmy Kimmel.
Interesting.
Okay. Sam Donaldson. Don't know who Sam Donaldson is.
Say, who the?
I know the
is
name,
that?
but I can't figure out. I don't remember who it is.
He's a
Look him up.
reporter.
Don't do that.
So
Don't look him up because it'll tell you.
I'm not.
Tim Hardaway and Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Packers running back.
Loyola.
Georgia.
Not Georgia. Did you say Georgia?
Yeah, I said Georgia.
On Georgia. Or
I said
Loyola.
it's not Loyola. Aaron Jones.
Honorable mentions. Ed Hockley. Sean Kugler. Who's a coach. Jordan Palmer. Carson Palmer's brother.
Fucking school did he go to?
Oh, where did Jordan Palmer go?
It's in Texas.
His TikTok's amazing.
It is.
Abilene.
Baylor.
No. It's not Abilene.
Smaller.
Smaller
Is
than
it Abilene
Baylor.
Christian?
Who?
Abilene Christian?
Oh, no.
Isn't
Not
that in
that small.
Texas?
Sounds like it would be.
Yeah, Abilene Christians in Texas.
TCU.
TCU.
No.
The Horned Frogs.
University of San Antonio.
No, but you're kind of getting closer.
University of Texas El Paso.
Sam Houston.
UTEP.
UTEP.
Got it. All right. On to the next one.
Done, and we're on to the next one.
Dave Coulier. Played
Uncle Joey.
Joey. Yeah, Joey. Scott Steiner.
And
The
the
wrestler?
Steiner recliner.
WWE legend. And Dave Portnoy.
Oh, Michigan.
Honorable mentions. I have written down too many.
That doesn't surprise me for you.
Howard.
Brady.
Tom Brady.
Brady, come
Michael
Tom.
Phelps. President Gerald Ford.
All right, on to the
Among
next one.
many, many others. All right, here we go. Jeff Bezos. For all you Office fans, Ellie Kemper. And Will Venable. That surprised me. Will
Oh,
Venable.
wait a minute.
surprised me.
This is it's an Ivy League school, isn't it?
It is.
Brown.
It's either Yale or Princeton.
Which one?
Princeton.
It's Princeton, isn't it?
Princeton.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions, JFK.
At least I picked an Ivy League
Superman.
school.
That's because I said
Superman.
two of them. Oh, you mean
No,
Brown?
I said Brown first.
Oh,
True.
we got Superman, Dean King.
Ivy League school. UMass. I think UMass is UMass isn't an Ivy League school.
No.
Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields went to Princeton.
Did she get lost?
Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Stewart. Okay. Rainn Wilson.
From The Office?
Marissa Tomei,
The actress?
the actress. Gary Bettman.
University of Minnesota.
Not too many athletes come out of this school. That's where the cursor landed. Some honorable mentions. Adam Sandler.
Oh,
Rudy Giuliani.
Cornell.
No.
Adam Sandler didn't go to Cornell?
No.
Columbia.
No. A lot of actors go here.
Juilliard.
Oh, but
Is it NYU?
it is NYU. I was going to say
Why did I think-
Juilliard. I think you're in the right city, right?
I think so.
NYU.
Yeah.
I think Juilliard's in New York City, right?
I'm pretty sure. Jack, correct us if we're wrong.
I don't think we're wrong. I mean, we could be wrong. We're dumb.
Somebody in chat's guessing. Chat needs to guess.
Come on, Mace, get it done.
You're tired.
All right, here we go. Jerry Bruckheimer.
Film guy.
Geraldo Rivera. Rob Gronkowski.
Where the hell did Gronk go?
Pac-12.
I'm going to guess.
Is he a duck?
No. Pac-12?
Chat beat you both.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Arizona.
Arizona.
Good job, Mace.
Honorable mentions. Kourtney Kardashian. Never thought she would have went to college.
I didn't think Rob Gronkowski went to college.
Did you see his latest commercials?
Yes, they're great for
I am
USAA.
special.
Oh my God, they are
I
making
am
him look
special.
like even more of an idiot than
Dude,
he
he
looks
doesn't
like.
care. He's right. He's raking in money. Who cares?
You know,
Because he's an idiot.
I'm special.
She didn't.
Yeah,
she
you
was
are.
just on campus. She paid
There we
money
go.
to go for one semester.
Kim Kardashian has a great comeback story.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
Peter Weller. RoboCop. Peter Weller. Megyn Kelly.
I think
Reporter.
RoboCop came out in like 1987 or 89. At which case I was either -1 or 1.
Donovan McNabb.
Buffalo?
Jim Brown. He's just on
Florida.
fire. No.
Oh, it's
Syracuse.
Syracuse. That was like Florida oranges.
Florida. He's from Florida.
Kansas, Syracuse?
All right, here we go.
Pop's got it.
I said Florida.
John Grisham, the author.
The great novel.
Jeff
Novelist.
Brantley,
Wait, what?
pitcher. Jeff Brantley, pitcher. He played for the Phillies. No,
Good for him.
I think he played for the Reds with the Big Red Machine. Dak Prescott.
Oh, Dak went to
Ole Miss.
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
Sorry, Tim. I
Honorable
tried.
mentions.
I was going to use your answer.
Honorable mentions from Mississippi State. Machine Gun Kelly. The original.
Part went to college?
That's not honorable.
No, the original one, like the gangster.
Oh, okay.
Jeez. Rafael Palmeiro, Will Clark, and Buck Showalter. Big baseball.
Will Clark. Raffy.
Big baseball school.
Very.
Go Dogs when it comes to Mississippi State baseball. Okay, this is the last one, and this was, I would say, probably the most random school that the cursor landed on. Stephen King. Gary Thorne, the announcer. Paul Correa.
Maine.
Maine nailed it. Wow.
He knows where Paul
Honorable
Correa went.
mentions of Maine was Ben Bishop. Sports. On Tortorella.
I knew it from the first person he listed, Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Because I know he lives in Maine. He lives in Maine. He's been in Maine. Yep.
And Mike Bordick.
Mike Bordick.
Yep.
Color commentator for the Baltimore Orioles. Used to play for the Orioles.
Interesting. Very.
That is all I got for famous alumni.
Well, I'm definitely going to get the clip of Big 12 and him saying Cincinnati.
That's fine. Whatever.
I mean, shit.
Enjoyed it.
Shout out
I liked it.
Again, shout out to Lumberland for giving us some inspiration to our content. We've used a lot of what they do. So good stuff they're putting out.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Without a doubt. All right. So we're going to wrap up. But before we wrap up, I want to remind everybody, be on the lookout. Saturday, the Hot Chip Challenge. This guy right here. Yeah, you're going to get the same one as soon as it's back in stock on Amazon.
I'm eating that. Right there.
This thing right here.
Well, it's down there and over there. So
What are you using to like wash it down?
So I was told, and the plan is sour cream. Like with a spoon.
Never mind. Okay.
I mean, hey, whatever. If that helps, then it helps. If not, then
All I got to say to you guys is Godspeed, because I am so fucking thankful that I am not doing this.
Next fantasy season.
I really listen, I don't think either one of you after you're done doing this will ever even want to think about doing something like this again.
probably not.
You know, maybe next year we do like, you got to have a mustache, or Abby, you got to shave your beard or something.
I would do a mustache probably.
We'll think of something.
This is about as good as I can grow anything. So
Listen, this is probably the only way I'd ever be able to get a mustache, is if I lost in fantasy and I had to shave and I had to keep it for like a month. Kelly would fucking hate it, but
Rules
it
are
would probably
rules.
be the only way that I'd be able to have it.
that's funny.
But yeah, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. Gonna be interesting.
Yep.
All right. Well, And hey, right there it is. There's the one who didn't understand. My brother just jumped in the chat and said, I can't grow a mustache. But guess what? You also didn't realize that pizza and beer were expected anytime somebody helps you move. So fix yourself first. With that said, thank you everybody for hanging out. We will see you again very soon. Not January 20th. I'm an idiot. That's the wrong day. We will see you.
That's 7 days ago. We'll see you in the past, everybody.
On February, I believe it is the 10th. Thank you. We will see you then.
Bye.
Have a great